India's first interstate inter-hospital kidney transplant surgery done at Hyderabad. It is indeed a landmark achievement in the field of transplantation in India. So, briefly, swap transplantation is a type of paired organ donation in which the donors are interchanged to match the recipient's respective recipient's blood group. Without much ado, I shall share the actual course of events of the swap transplant that we performed at Virinchi Hospital in coordination with Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences. Our patient, Mr. Sandeep Bhatnagar, he's from Chhattisgarh, and apart from being the head of his family, he's a principal at a school in Chhattisgarh. He's blessed to have two children, with wife being Mrs. Indu Bhatnagar and two children, Sankalp and Shushti. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed to have end-stage kidney disease in March 2022 and was initiated on maintenance hemodialysis. They were referred to Virinchi Hospital for expert management, given our reputation in the field of kidney transplantation. The family was counseled about the available universal treatment for his illness, that is lifelong dialysis or kidney transplant. His wife, Mrs. Induji, being his strongest voluntary support, voluntarily stepped forward for kidney donation. But there was a twist in the course of events. Mr. Sandeep's blood group was B positive, while Mrs. Indu's blood group was A positive. And because this being a high-risk transplantation, we had to counsel them for a swap kidney transplant. Also, our patient, Mr. Sandeep, has a diabetic brother, so kidney donation was out of question for him. Moving on with this scenario, the couple was in constant touch with our team. In fact, the possibility of swap transplant was introduced to them by Dr. Nayak because of his extensive network across the state. Nonetheless, Dr. Sridhar Reddy sir, Dr. Uma Maheshwar sir, senior nephrologist and transplant surgeons from Kim's Hospital were also of invaluable support. It's worth mentioning that the process of transplantation comes to life with the persistent hard work of our transplant coordinators, Mr. Venkat and Mr. Harish. They did all the coordination and paperwork, and also the support staff, especially the wonderful transplant unit nursing staff, which helped making this transplant a success. So after reaching out to Dr. Sridhar sir and team, a couple with the wife being B positive and husband suffering from kidney disease being A positive were willing for swap donation and transplantation. The other couple is Mrs. Varalakshmi and Mrs. Hanmantu. They are from Telangana. So this is a brief clip of our protocol of a transplant meet at Virinchi Hospital for medico-legal purposes. So, after knowing that a swap transplant is possible in this case was just the start. Since this was an interstate swap, both the couples had to undergo multiple medico-legal formalities with the respective states. Now, specifying about our patient, he approached Chhattisgarh Medical Authority in August 2022. After getting permission and no objection certificate from them, he approached the Telangana DME in November 2022. While all this was happening, he continued to undergo thrice weekly hemodialysis and transplant workup. We had a meeting at Virinchi hospital with both the couples who were explaining the process of swap transplantation, followed by one more at KIMS. So the video which we saw, this was also the same meet had happened at KIMS hospital. So finally, after a series of meetings, paperwork, official medico-legal documentation, swap kidney transplantation was done on 9th December 2022. This is the paperwork that we got. The one on the right is from Government of Telangana, and this one on the, the one on the left of your screen is from Chhattisgarh. So, so moving on, the swap donor Mrs. Varalakshmi, who was B positive, underwent donor surgery and her kidney was transplanted to Mr. Sandeep Bhatnagar at Virinchi hospital, while Mrs. Indu Bhatnagar, who is A positive, donated her kidney to Mr. C.G. Hanmantu at KIMS hospital. This is a brief video of how we synchronized and coordinated the surgeries through a Zoom video call. So we coordinated this transplant in sync with doctors from KIMS hospital. A total of 4 surgeries happened on 9th of December, 2 in Virinchi and 2 at KIMS. They were all well coordinated in real time through a Zoom video call. Donor surgery began at 9 a.m. and ended around 2 p.m. while recipient surgery began at 10:30 a.m. and ended at 3:30 p.m. The crucial steps in the 4 surgeries have to be coordinated in real time carefully using virtual platforms to ensure that donor imaging, that is, donor should not refuse to donate if one kidney transplantation happens at one time. For example, if we proceeded with one pair first, there is a possibility that the other pair or the other donor might withdraw from his approval to donate the kidney to the recipient. So this is an essential and important step. Because of which, that's what makes this transplant a unique one. We faced quite a few challenges while managing this case technically and medically, but the end result has been great. Both the patients have excellent graft function. What needs to be emphasized here is the immense amount of trust Mr. Bhatnagar's family had in us, the positive approach and the support they continue to have in us, and they receive continual support from our hospital as well. So these are the pictures of Mr. Bhatnagar post-transplant, and this is on his discharge. To conclude, the success of swap transplant is a very dynamic and multifactorial process. I'd like to conclude that it's very important to understand that swap transplant definitely helps widen the donor pool and should be promoted and encouraged in public awareness programs. Thank you.